back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Last week I did my favorite accessories inside the RV, and today I'm going to do outside the RV. But being that it is in heat wave right now, and I really am not going to want to go outside running around, plus this traffic noise, I just went and took pictures, and I hope that's good. I will have everything linked below if you need to purchase these. Of course, I'm just picking out one, and on some of them, like the water hose and stuff like that, there are many options. I'm just showing you what we have, and I will explain why we like them. So without further ado, let's proceed. These are in no particular order. I just sort of did it as if you were coming to a campsite and you were getting ready to set up. So the first thing you have to do when you back into your campsite and you're happy with your location is level your RV from side to side. These are Anderson levelers. So once we figure out which side needs to go up, I take this level right here. This is a 2-foot level. I did put one in the links, and I just hold it on the side of the RV that is lower, that is going to ride up on an Anderson jack, and Big Daddy rolls up onto the Anderson jack, and when it's high enough to where the bubble's in the middle of the lines, I just hold my hand up and tell him to stop. He stops, he holds the brakes, I put the levelers underneath like so, and then this one goes in at the back side so it doesn't move. We don't really have probably maybe a ½ an inch out of level, but sometimes you can go up to 4 inches out of level. So this goes from 0 to 4 inches. Okay, once you've got your camper level side to side, you're going to level front to back. Now, we have these stick-on levelers on the camper. This is on the side, so as Big Daddy is hiring or lowering the front jack, I can tell him to stop when this gets to the center level. We also double check it with the 2-foot level too. These are pretty accurate, but you can see it's not dead on center, but the 2-foot level tells us it is, and that's what we really go by. This is just a starting point for us. Now that one's on the side, this one's on the front, so this is going to do your side to side as well, but we rarely use them. I did put some stick-on levelers down in the links. I couldn't find these Camco ones. I think we probably picked them up at an RV store or something like that, but there are plenty out there that are very similar, so I put those down then. Alright, once you've leveled side to side and front to back, you want to bring down your stabilizers. And you want to put them on blocks. You can see, well, we have extra stabilizers on ours, I'll explain that later. But you want to put one under every jack. We use wood. You can search on Amazon, I've put it down in the description as to what to search for that. But they do plastic blocks, they're like huge Lego looking things, and people use those too, so whatever's convenient for you. Then after we get all our jacks down on the blocks, we put in our scissor jacks, these right here, and they go on the inside of your wheels, and it stops sort of the rocky business and the shaking. So we didn't start with these, we put them on later, but we really like how they sort of level everything out and it doesn't shake. And so the only thing you have to check with these is the distance between your tires. Our tires are rather wide, separated rather wide, so we had to get some extra large X-Tracks. So just measure this, and it'll tell you when you're looking what size the X-Tracks start and expand to. Okay. After you've got everything stable, you go on to hooking everything up. The first thing you're going to do is your electric. Never ever plug an electric cord into a pedestal without a surge protector. There are horror stories out there of things that happen. This surge protector is 50 amp. I've also linked down below a 30 amp. It depends on what your camper is, either 30 amp or 50 amp. That's the surge protector you will need. You plug this into your pedestal at the campground, and you make sure that you've got 3 lights up here. And nothing like this. It tells you what's wrong on the other sequences too. As long as you've got the green lights, you can plug your camper in at the other end of the surge protector. That's just another picture. Then a sewer hose. Yes, the stinky slinky. And YouTube creator, RV Retirement, I believe. I'll put it in the link below. She's hysterical. She called it a poop chute. I loved it. Anyhow, that's your poop chute, and we've listed one down below. Next, you can plug up your water. You don't want to put a hose directly to your camper because some of the campgrounds have high pressure on their water, and it can damage your RV lines inside. So this is a brass pressure regulator, and what it does is it takes the water in, it reduces it. I think it's 50 psi. It'll show you on when you hit the link what it actually does, and that'll save you from busting your pipes inside the RV. So you put that on first, then your hose. Now this is a summer hose for us. We used to deal with the big heavy hard plastic ones, but they're so hard to roll up, and this one sort of shrivels down. It's great. It's called a 0G. You want to make sure you get the drinking water one because they make a lot of different hoses, but I have linked it again with the other things. Now, that's our summer hose. This is a winter hose, so if you're going to be in temperatures below zero, you need a winter hose. This one plugs in outside, and if the temperature goes down, it'll turn on the electric, which keeps that hose warm so it doesn't freeze up. That's if you're going to camp in the winter. Again, link below. And don't forget your water filter. I just so happened to pick up a new one because it's time to replace ours. So this you attach to the hose at either end. It doesn't really matter as long as you're doing it in the direction of the flow. It tells you on there which way to do it. All your instructions are on the side. On the back it tells you everything it blocks out. So you want to get one of these. This is the Camco, and I did put this link down below too. Okay, after your water's hooked up, this is option. This isn't a necessary thing unless you go to a campground with a 50 amp camper and they only have 30 amp pedestals. So we carry what they call a dog bone. This is actually ours. My camera was on the wrong setting, so it looks like everything's filthy here, but this is ours, and we keep one on board because our generator is for a 30 amp. That's a 30 amp plug. So we can plug our RV 50 amp in here, plug this into the generator, and if the power goes out, we're good to go. So there are also, when you hit my link for this one right here, there are a million options. You can go to a 15, I think it's a 15, like a house outlet. You know, you can break it from a 50 to a 15, a 30 to a 15. There's all sorts of options. It depends on what you need and where you're going to camp. So just check ahead, make sure you've got what you need, otherwise you'll be running to the camp store. If they have them, otherwise a Camping World or Walmart, I think, has them, I'm not sure. Alright, moving on. I feel like a teacher here with a board, but it's much easier than running around outside. Okay, we're moving on now to things that we like. They're not necessary, especially if you're just a weekend warrior, but if you live in an RV full-time, you don't want to feel somebody moving around. You know, if I'm sitting here, I don't want to feel Big Daddy moving around, or if I'm in bed, you know. And we've tried several things. These we love, and the scissor jacks. So that stabilizes our camper. We don't get much shaking. Sometimes I feel them go in and out, but very rarely. These are scissor jacks. We bought 4 of these. I think they come in a pair, but double check down below. And Big Daddy attached these. We have the electric jacks that came with the RV on each end, and then we have 2 of these in the front, and then 2 of them in the back. Very, very good. Next is this screen. This is great for privacy. It's great for sun. You know, if the sun's beating, this shades you some. It's really good. And it also, when it's raining, it keeps this area much drier than if you didn't have one. This is by Solera, and I've put the link below. You just have to figure out what size you need. So we measured our awning. You don't want it to go all the way to the end, so you see it starts like right here, goes to here, and then you get to do your lengths too. We don't usually have it this high, but this is a concrete slab where we are right now, so we can't put it any closer to the camper. But usually we have it a little closer, and that way it almost comes to the ground. You just got to work with whichever side you're in. The other thing here are these tie downs. We, on our other camper, had a manual awning. We kept it out all the time, no problem. We were a little skeptical about keeping out an electric awning, but we had seen these with these springs on them to allow for some flexibility while it's out. And we've had it on the camper now for 2 years. The only time I pull it in, the awning, is if the winds get over 50 miles an hour. And then I'll go outside. This is so simple too. I'll go outside, you unzip this part right here. This falls to the floor. You unclip these and you roll the awning in. After the wind dies down or the storm passes, you take the awning out, you zip this back on, you wrap that around and clip it. It takes less than a minute. It's so simple. So that's another thing we love. These are the tie downs. Here's a close-up of the spring, and then this is just one of those straps that you can release, tighten, loosen, whichever you need to do when you're setting up. Last but not least, I get asked about the tire cover. We had this one made from Amazon. We just sent them the logo. They put our logo on there. Our other tire cover dry rotted. So when we replaced all the tires, we also replaced the spare. We got a new cover for it so it would protect the new tire. And that is the last one. I hope this has been helpful to anybody that's a newbie out there, so that you know what you do need and the things that we like in addition to that. If you have any questions for any of these, just put it in the comments below and we'll be sure to get back to you and help you out in any way we can. I thank you for joining me today. If you made it to the end of my video, put a little camper emoji or a truck emoji, and if you can't find those, just type it out. Thanks for joining me. I'll be back in the next video, and see you then. Love you guys. Bye-bye.